𝑘𝑦𝑜 and a very good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to the weekly Sunday Pūjā in Unison and Dhamma Online, an initiative of the Council of Malaysia, and is hosted by MSBS and DBV. It's certainly good to see all of you once again on this online platform. Today is the 5th of May 2024. So to begin today's Puja, I shall now invite Sister Cheng to read out the offerings in English. Over to you, Sister Cheng.
Thank you, Brother Terence. 𝘿𝓾𝓷𝓭𝓪, a very good morning to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. It is a great blessing that we can come together for morning puja and to review our precepts and to stay through a brief Dhamma sharing on this Sunday morning. So now let us compose our minds and reflect on the significance of the virtual offerings that we shall make with full respect to our blessed teacher, the Buddha. Let us begin with the offering of lights. May we offer these candles, burning brightly, out of deep respect and veneration to our enlightened master, the Buddha. May these lights symbolically guide us to the light of the Dhamma, which dispels the darkness of greed with the light of generosity, the gloominess of hatred with the light of love, and the darkness of ignorance with the light of wisdom through the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Offering of joss sticks and incense. May we offer these joss sticks and incense out of deep respect and veneration to our blessed master, the Buddha. May the fragrance of these joss sticks and incense be pleasing unto the gods and devas. May our good deeds be like the fragrance of joss sticks, cultivating compassion, patience, tolerance, understanding, and love towards all living beings. Offering of water. May we offer this water to symbolize our aspiration to cultivate the virtues of calmness, clarity, and purity. Let it remind us to diligently cleanse ourselves of our spiritual defilements and delusion through the cultivation of generosity, compassion, and wisdom. Offering of flowers. These flowers too we offer out of deep respect and gratitude to our compassionate master, the Buddha. These flowers, sweet, beautiful, and choice, are clustered at the feet of our noble master. Beautiful as they are now, they will soon, with the passing of time, will fade and be casted away. Reflecting thus on this very nature of unsatisfactoriness, impermanence, and soullessness, let us tread the path shown by the Buddha for the eradication of sufferings here and now. Brothers and sisters, to begin this morning's puja, let us pay homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha by saying sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu Miccacara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya Majjapama Dattana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Viccacarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta dewa manussanang buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sandittiko akaliko ehipassiko opanayiko paccatang vedittabbo vinyuhiti. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Pujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Samiccippatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Yadidang cattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakkineyo anjali karaniyo anutterang punyaketang lokasati.
Vandami cetiyang sappang sabbathanesu patittitang saririka dhatu mahabodhing buddha rupang sakalang sada yassamule nisinnova sabbari vijayang aka patto sapanyutang sattha vande tang bodhipadapang ime ete mahabodhi lokanatena pujita ahang pite namassami bodhi raja namattute ganna sarappaditena dipena tamadang sina 𝑡ِlokadipang sambuddhang Pujayami tamo nudang Ganda sambara yuttena Dupena hang sugandina Pujaye pujaniyang tang Puja bhajana muttamang Adivase tuno bante Phaniyang parikappitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu muttamang Adivase tuno bante Bojanang parikappitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu muttamang Adivase tuno bante Gilana paccayang imang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu muttamang Vannaganda guno petang Etang kusuma santating Pujayami muning dassa Siripada saroruhe Pujemi buddhang kusumena nena Punyena metena cahotu mokkang Puphang milayati yatha idang me Kayo tathayati vinasa bawang Akka sattha ca bummatta Devanaga mahiddika Punyantang anumoditwa Chiram rakhantu loka sasanang Akka sattha ca bummatta Devanaga mahiddika Punyantang anumoditwa Chiram rakhantu desanang Akka satta ca bummatta Devanaga mahiddika Punyantang anumoditwa Chiram rakhantu mamperanti Devo vassatu khalena Sasampatti hetu ca Pito bhavatu loko ca Raja bhavatu dhammiko Idang me nyatinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Idang me nyatinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Idang me nyatinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Imina punya kammena Mame bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu Yavanibbana pattiya Kayena vacha cittena Pamadena maya katang Accayang kamame bante Uripanya tathagata Kayena vacha cittena Pamadena maya katang Accayang kamame dhamma Sandittika akhalika Kayena vacha cittena Pamadena maya katang Accayang kamame sangga Supatipanna anuttara
Karaniya kusalena Yantang santang padang abisamecha Sakko ujucha sujucha Subacho samudu anadimani Santussako cha subarocha Appakicho cha sallahu kavutti Santingriyo cha nipako cha Appagabbo kulesu ananugito Nacha kuddang samacare kinchi Yena vinyu pare upawadeyo. Sukino vake mino hantu. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitata. Yeke cipana bhutati tasava tavarava navasesa. Digavaye mahantava majjima rassakanukatula. Dittavaye va aditta. Ye cha dure vasanti avedure. Bhutava sambhave siva. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitata. Naparo parang nikubeta. Nati manyeta katta cinang kanci. Biaro sana patiga sanya. Nanyamanya sadukha miceya. Mata yata niyang putang. Ayusa eka putta manurakhe. Evang pisabba bhutesu manasang bhavaye aparimanang. Mettang ca sabba lokasming manasang bhavaye aparimanang. Udang ado ca tiriyan ca asambadang averang asapattang. Tittang charang nisinova sayanova yavatassa vigatamiddo. Etang sating aditteya brahmametang viharang idamahu. Ditting ca anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno. Kame suvinaya gedang nahi jatu gabaseyang punareti. Etena satcha vajjena sottite hotu sabbada. Etena satcha vajjena sottite hotu sabbada. Etena satcha vajjena sottite hotu sabbada. By this declaration of the truth, may you be safe at all times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, 𝘖𝓢𝓾𝓷𝓭𝓪, 𝓤𝓷𝓲𝓼, and 𝘖𝓤𝓾𝓷𝓭𝓪 for today's Sunday Pūjā chanting. Back with us today, we have Bro Tan Leng Huat to share on the qualities of the Buddha he wished to emulate. Over to you, Bro Tan Leng Huat.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Brother Terence, for initiating, for coordinating this Sunday event again. Okay, we are all busy this week, next week, and up to the Vesak Day. Everybody is busy. That includes me also, getting our temple ready for the celebration of Vesak. Huh? Everybody is busy. Our sister Doris had just said also she probably wants to leave us early today because she's also has to go to the temple and start cleaning up the temple. There are a lot of visitors coming and all for the Vesak. Right? So we all spend a lot of time doing all this for the Vesak, which we call the Triple Blessed Day. When we say Triple Blessed Day, I'm talking about how to emulate. We all talk about the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of the Buddha. Right? We all talk about that, meaning the Triple Blessed Day is we are blessed with the birth of the Buddha. We are blessed that he was enlightened. And he brought us the wonderful Dhamma, which is incomparable. And also the passing away of the Buddha, which is very significant to us. Why? The question is why? Why is it significant? What are the significance of this triple blessed day? We will understand, we will realize this is a very important factor for us, which we tend to overlook. We realize that the Buddha is a human. The Buddha was born a human. He lived a life as a human. He went through the process of living a life as a human through aging, sickness, and eventually he passed away as a human. So meaning to say that the significance is that we must realize that the Buddha was a human. Why is it important? It tends to tell us that we too can achieve the achievement by this man, because he is not something special. He is not a god. He is not omniscient in that sense that he only can achieve and we cannot achieve. No. The significance is that we must realize that he is simply a human like you and me, and we also can put in as much effort as he has put in to reach our enlightenment or to become an arahant. So this we realize. So bringing the three precious jewels in the world. See, so we are happy that he was born. We realize that he was born as Prince Siddhartha. Now we must know that his character, his actions, all we can emulate. His effort is in particular, particularly his perseverance, his effort he put in, that can be emulated. Then that's why you say we are happy to have, that's why we are kind of celebrating the birth, because it gives us that kind of a reflection. And when he became the Buddha, what's the significance? He brought us the Dhamma. That special Dhamma that tells us that three precious jewels. These three precious jewels he brought to us. No other jewels in the world combined can compare with these special jewels. The Buddha said it in the Ratana Sutta. Remember, in our class, we always chant the Ratana Sutta also, you all. Idampi Buddhe Ratanang Panitang, Idampi Dhamme Ratanang Panitang, Idampi Sanghe Ratanang Panitang, Etena Sachena 𝓤𝓾𝓷𝓭𝓪. That the Buddha is a special jewel, the Dhamma is a special jewel, and the Sangha is a special jewel. And this truth may all be well and happy. Okay? Again, we talk about truth. We focus here about truth, that the Buddha always speaks the truth, qualities which we must emulate. Correct? So we talk about these three special jewels. So this is the significance of his enlightenment, that he brought us a special Dhamma. He himself has come enlightened. He brought a special Dhamma, and his Sangha, very disciplined a group of Sangha. So they are very disciplined, which we also must emulate the qualities, the character of our Sangha members. Okay, so this is why we are happy with the enlightenment. And of course, eventually the passing away, we are also saddened that we have to lose such a great teacher. But again, like I've said, it is reflective that he is simply a human. The Buddha is not our God. The Buddha is a human. He is merely a teacher who shows us the way that we can be elaborated, that we can be emancipated. Okay? So this is the meaning of this, that all of us have the potential of this indestructible goodness in us. And this goodness that can lead us to enlightenment. So that is why we are celebrating. That is why our sister Doris is going off early to clear up the temple. I have been very busy the whole week. I owe a lot of people a lot of things that I have to update myself. Because we're all busy, and then we all give that as an excuse lah. But okay, nevertheless, it is true how we all are busy in a way or another. So we are all time to honor. So Vesa, how is it celebrated? It's actually a time that we honor the enlightenment of the founder, enlightenment of our teacher, to be accurate. So our teacher, it's time to focus on his spiritual awareness. So we see. It is also a time for us when we say we celebrate this. We must also, like I've said, number one, we are honoring our teacher. And also, we must also focus on our own spiritual awareness. Because if the Buddha as a human can do that, we will try to achieve at least 100 of what he has achieved, or 1,000 of what he have achieved. To that. Yeah. So we will So followers of Buddhism, how we celebrate? We go and visit orphanage, we visit the temple, we give dana, we do a lot of charity. So that is how we celebrate Vesak. So Vesak is celebrated that way, and of course particularly in our temples, we offer food to the monks, and then we light candles, we bring flowers, and we normally will observe vegetarian diet in respect to all living beings. Although Theravada Buddhism, Theravadins, we are not vegetarian, but of course on auspicious day we still practice vegetarianism to respect all living beings. Okay. So now we know all the qualities of the Buddha. We have given you a brief summary. Now we pick the individual qualities that we try to emulate. So the first quality, the easiest quality is generosity. We always start with gradual practice. So first we talk about generosity. Charity or generosity. We choose to emulate this quality. But before we do that, let us understand what is this kind of charity that we want to emulate. We cannot say, I want to be generous, but we have to understand. Okay. So now sometimes we think of these three charities. In life, we think of these three charities. Charity of giving material things. Correct? We like to give material things. Correct? But don't forget, there's another form of charity. What happens to people like the Buddha? Correct? The Buddha has nothing much to give in terms of materialism. So how? So is Buddha more generous after that? Of course, there are other forms of generosity. We said generosity of giving fearlessness. He gives us confidence to live in this world. Correct? He gave us confidence, fearlessness to face all these kind of hindrances in life. And also this, he gave us the wonderful Dhamma, which we say again is the precious jewel. He gave us a wonderful Dhamma to liberate ourselves, so that we go to the ultimate. Okay. So now this charity that we talk about, number one, we talk about charity of giving materials. That one we can emulate but you see, but remember, when we give charity material, does not mean that we must continue to give and then that the world is perfect. Charity means what? The world has no more poor people. Not true We cannot achieve that Correct? We cannot say that I will do charity and my perfection of charity. Yes, you can have perfection of charity. We'll define it for you. But we must remember, don't think that we can give everything that we have and the whole world can be happy and peaceful. If we can, why not? We will do it. Immediately we will give everything up. The world can become peaceful again. And there are no more poor people in the world. You don't see beggars in the street. You don't see refugees. You don't see hungry people. Why not? But it is impossible. But at least what we try to do is we will continue to give charity because it will relieve us of this temporary attachment to our things. It makes us realize spiritually. It makes us realize. So we continue to emulate this quality because this quality has a lot of spiritual values. We have this kind of temporary results of giving, whereby we become detached from our things. And that is what the Buddha says as a cause of suffering. Correct? Does not mean that when we give again, like I've said, we give this because we want to accrue that merit so that life becomes conducive for us to practice, to purify ourselves. The merits that we get from this. But again, like I said, this perfection of this perfection of charity is not a perfection. Not because you got rid of everybody, all the beggars and all the needy people in the world. Not true, Not even the perfection of charity. We have freed ourselves from miserliness. Not true also. Don't think that we give and give, the world has no more beggars and we become no more miser. Not true also, But at least what we can achieve is we will destroy the clinging to what we have with each other. The clinging of ours and mine and yours and theirs. So the clinging is what? So the clinging, we destroy the clinging to what we each consider as ours, such as the body, speech, and mind. Right. So we must learn, when we give this, not because we think we can save the whole world, but because we have learned to destroy the clinging each consider as ours. We consider things like ours. That clinging, we will learn to let go. And that is the benefit. That is a spiritual benefit of giving. Such as our body, speech, and mind. We can clean and cleanse our body, speech, and mind. Okay, so that our speech becomes nicer to people. Our mind is always thinking of good things. So this is the cultivation of giving. Not because we want to get rid of all the poor in the world. That can never be achieved. Okay? So yes, sometimes we say the arahants can overcome that. Arahants, they will give everything. Arahants, they can give everything. Everything, okay, now like I said earlier, they have nothing else to give. The ascetics have nothing to give. The Buddha who has nothing to give sometimes, but he has cultivated himself to such a way that he will even sacrifice himself for the benefit of others. He saw an hungry lioness, Jataka story, he offered his own body to the lioness so that the lioness can eat him and feed the baby cubs, isn't it? So these are the kind of charity that he can do. That is the perfection of charity. The perfection of charity is that we detach ourselves from this body. That perfection can be achieved, not rid the world of the hungry people. So that is actually the correct Dhamma practice of that charity. Not because we want to give until there's no more poor people, but we give until we detach ourselves, that body, speech, and mind, we have no more much concern. So that is the perfection of the charity the Buddha has done. But we are not going to that level. We are giving charity. Okay, I have missed one wonderful part for you. Okay, never mind. We'll come back to that. So that charity we give as we want to detach ourselves. Okay. Now, number 2, we are talking about giving or charity, give fearlessly. We remember we told you that there are 3 kinds of charity. We talk about the charity of giving material. Yes, we give material. We have discovered that. Second charity is to give fearlessness. Fearlessness, exactly that's what the Buddha has said. The Buddha had given that kind of fearlessness to us. Like I said, the Buddha has nothing much to give. What charity can the Buddha give? But the Buddha gave the charity of fearlessness to us. He has given us the confidence to face the hindrances in this life. The Buddha taught us a lot of things that we can overcome these hindrances. And now we have to learn, emulate this from the Buddha. Now, not many of us are that rich to give so much, but whatever much you can give, that is the best you can do. Like I said, now just about detaching yourself. The other thing is, don't worry. Don't think that, oh, I'm poor, I cannot give. Why? What happened? Other people can give, I cannot give. The Buddha also said that we can give charity of giving fearlessness. That is also what we can give. Meaning to say that we can guide others from fears and dangers. Correct? We can guide others. Now, not only money and material, we are always focusing on that, but we can share people, we can give that fearlessness atmosphere to people. Tell them, we can teach people that there are many forms of bad habits. We can teach them that slowly. We can, like giving medicine to a sick person, like counseling, advising people to free them from anxiety. They are qualified enough to help them. We can also give them charity of fearlessness. Example, we teach them the dangers of addictive drugs. We can tell them, don't take drugs. We can work very hard, to go around helping all these drug addicts. That is another big form of charity. That is giving them the charity of fearlessness, the Buddha says. We tell them that gambling is no good, alcohol is no good, womanizing is no good, look after your family. So that is also one of the biggest charities that we can perform. And that is what the Buddha has been doing. And that is what we should emulate. We should all gear ourselves up. Not only money and material. Give them the fearlessness in them. Let me teach them all the bad results of all these bad habits. We can tell them avoid the dangers of addictive drugs, this alcohol drinking, clubbing at night too late every night, leaving your family unattended at home. Teach them. Gambling will waste all your property, waste all your money. Womanizing again. So we can teach them. So we can also have that part. That is the fearlessness. That is what we can actually contribute. Don't worry about the material kind of giving only. We should also focus on that. Okay. Now we also talk about we have covered the fearlessness. Now we talk about the charity of giving the Dhamma. Fearlessness, we can teach them that what the Buddha has done. The Buddha has taught us also to overcome fearlessness by chanting Iti Piso, remember? By chanting 𝓢𝓾𝓷𝓭𝓪𝓂, remember? The Buddha Vandana, the Dhamma Vandana, Sangha Vandana, in the Dajaga Sutta, the Buddha says, this can overcome your fear. Yes, beyond this spiritual fear, we talk about the dangers that I've discussed with you, about drugs and all those things. So the third kind of charity we spoke, we told you earlier, is the charity of giving Dhamma. Okay, charity of giving Dhamma. So we teach them the Dhamma. The Dhamma, basically what we have to teach them is now we have taught them, we have given enough for them to be comfortable, we have given them enough to be free from fear, we give them the solution to overcome this sickness permanently. We can teach them the Dhamma, the suffering and the cause of suffering, so that they can reach the ultimate later. The ultimate. So we can also teach them the Dhamma. The Dhamma which actually will relieve them of all the future kind of suffering. Okay? So the three kind of things. While giving things and giving fearlessness are important practices, the most important charity we can give is charity of giving Dhamma. Okay? What sentient beings need today is to be free from suffering and the causes of suffering, and to have ultimate and permanent happiness. And that can only come through the practice of the Dhamma. So we must help people to understand the Dhamma, the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Okay? Giving food, money, or clothing, building school, hospitals, yes, and so forth. Such things are of great benefit to others, relieving them of the temporary difficulties only, but they have not benefited the greatest benefit. Remember, the greatest benefit, sentient beings who currently need our material help have all been millionaires in the past. Sometimes, we do not know, somebody we give them, but still they are in samsara. So that is our Buddhist concept. We are happy the Buddha appeared and taught us that all this wealth alone did not free us from this unimaginable long time samsara. That is the Dhamma that we have to share with you. So charity of giving Dhamma. So now these are the three kind of charity we must realize. And these are the three kind of charity we must emulate the Buddha. We must continue to work to give people this charity. Okay? And okay, before we do that, but I also want to have to give you a little bit of an introduction to this. Actually, the Buddha's teaching. Now, why are these three charity important? Because the Buddha's teaching today, remember, the Buddha's teaching is about living in the present. How to live conducively in the present. Yes. It is also about how to live in the future. How to get into a good place in the future. That is the Buddha's teaching. And also, the Buddha taught us the ultimate happiness, the paramatta, the ultimate happiness. So remember, Buddha's teaching is threefold, right? Living in the present, how to be conducive about living in the present, how to be conducive about living in the future, and how to be in the place of ultimate peace. Okay, so we continue with the practice. Now we practice morality. Morality is another aspect that we can emulate from the Buddha. We can emulate, number one, the charity. Now we can emulate also the morality from the Buddha. So Buddhism is often seen as a spiritual journey for its emphasis on mindfulness, correct? Mindfulness, meditation, compassion, and cultivation of wisdom. Okay, that is our path. Okay, the Buddhism spiritual journey emphasizes on mindfulness, on meditation, on compassion, and the cultivation of wisdom. However, morality and ethics, remember, morality and ethics are also the central to the Buddhist practice. We don't talk about the emphasis of mindfulness, meditation, compassion, and cultivation of the wisdom. When we are weak in our moral values, the whole thing will collapse. The great foundation of the moral values or the ethical values of life. So this is very important. So this Buddhist practice, guiding practitioners to live in harmony with themselves, correct, and with others, and with the environment. Don't forget, Buddhism also teaches us to live in harmony with others and with the environment, correct? So remember, the morality part, like I've said, we will repeat this. Buddhism also often seen as a spiritual journey for its emphasis on mindfulness. People will talk about mindfulness, people talk about meditation, people talk about compassion and the cultivation of wisdom. However, morality and ethics are the central to the Buddhist practice, guiding practitioners to live in harmony with themselves and with the environment. Therefore, we will explore the Buddhist approach to ethics and morality. It's very important because we want to emulate the Buddha. Correct? We must emulate the Buddha from the beginning. Okay? So from the very beginning is ethical and moral and morality. Ethical life and a morally right life. Therefore, what do we do? It's simple again. It is a way of 5 precepts that we have learned from the Buddha. We must learn to practice, emulate the Buddha. The 5 precepts and the 8-fold path. Whether you're a Buddhist practitioner or simply a curious Buddhist observer, it is very important that, and you will agree eventually, that this is the Buddhist ethical is a way of life. The Buddhist ethics are very important, the greatest foundation that you can have. So we talk about the 5 precepts. We have recited the 5 precepts. In fact, every Sunday when we get together, one of, excuse me, every Sunday when we get together, one of us will be chanting the Panchasila, the 5 precepts. What we are saying there is, we refrain from taking lives. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Don't forget, it is refraining. We don't say we promise not to, we will not kill. We are just saying we refrain from unnecessary killing. Refrain from taking life. We refrain from taking what is not given to us. Correct? Adinna dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. We say that we refrain from sexual misconduct. And then we say that we refrain from false speech. And we refrain from intoxicant that clouds our mind. And so that has been recited every Sunday. In fact, every day you can recite this. It's very good because it is a reminder. Reminder. I just was reading through somewhere. They say, why is it important thing to remind yourself daily? You know, I just read an article and they say that they did an American survey, and each and every American, they say, in a 10 minutes conversation, 10-minute conversation, they will tell 3 lies at least. So it is very common, common failure. We cannot say that, oh, I know already. No. But the survey has shown 60% of the Americans in a short 10-minute discussion or talk or conversation, at least got 3 lies. So that's why we are reciting this every now and then. Every time maybe we have our puja, we recite this because it is easier said than done. Appears to be easy, but not easily done. So we say we observe the 5 precepts as a foundation for ethical conduct. Correct? This precept is to guide Buddhists. Why is it important? Because it will guide us. It guides us to be compassionate. It guides us to have a responsible life. Right? For example, to refrain from taking life gives value of life and it encourages everybody to respect all living beings. Right? So this kind of things are actually again this is good for the environment, the Buddha says. So that's why we say it is good for us and good for the 𝓤𝓾𝓷𝓷 party and also for the environment. You see, for instance, we're not taking life. You see, the Buddha is actually a very how do I say, very powerful being if he wants to be very powerful. But he always preaches and refrain from taking life, because why? We say he gives us he gives value of to all lives, and encourages people to cultivate respect for all living beings. Example in the Angulimala Sutta. You see, Angulimala was a serial killer. Cannot the Buddha just overcome him and just finish him off? But the Buddha did not do that. The Buddha respected life. The Buddha managed to communicate with him and managed to convert him, and he became an arahant in his life. It is how the Buddha approaches. The Buddha didn't want to waste a life. And also 𝑎𝑙𝑎𝑣𝑎𝑘𝑎, who was very fierce, supposed to be man-eating kind of a demon. The Buddha didn't finish him off also. The Buddha taught him slowly, using parables and similes, and eventually converted him also to be a good Buddhist. That is the way. So that is how we should approach things. That when we say we refrain from taking life, we must emulate the Buddha in giving life instead. Correct? When we say we don't kill, we are giving life. We are giving environment, we are giving society a safe environment to live. That's the meaning. Okay. So, okay, I'm not going to detail. Many of you will know about this kind, but I'm just telling you how we emulate the Buddha. So this precept guide Buddhists to live peacefully, and compassionately, and responsibly. Okay, so example we gave you is the 𝑎𝑙𝑎𝑣𝑎𝑘𝑎. Second, we say is refrain from taking what's not given, encourages generosity and honesty. When you don't take things that's not yours, you don't become greedy. Simple as that, correct? And then when you are not greedy, we hope that we become generous. And then generous, we become honest also. And that will again create a good environment to live in. You have a society that don't steal and who are generous, and I think we are living in a very peaceful society. So we are giving people to live in a very peaceful place. So the third precept, refraining from sexual misconduct, reminds people to cultivate responsible and respectful relationships. And the Buddha never said that we as Putujanas cannot have a spouse, but you have a spouse, you must cultivate responsible and respectful relationships. Okay, so these are simple things that make life conducive, that make society conducive to live in. So the fourth precept, we refrain from false speech. This is a bit tricky, isn't it? We refrain from false speech. Therefore, encourages honesty and integrity. So the fifth precept, maybe we'll discuss about this later a little bit in detail on this false speech. And the fifth precept says refrain from intoxicant that clouds our mind. Okay, that means to say that we avoid substances that can confuse our judgment. It confuse our judgment and lead us to harmful behavior. Be careful. There's nothing wrong with drinking. There's nothing wrong. But the effect of that drink clouds your mind, confuse your judgment. Judgment is very important. Sometimes when you are drunk, you drive, you don't know how to judge. You think you tend to go fast only. So that's very, very dangerous, and not for you, for others also. And we lead to harmful behavior. So we understand these consequences. I'm sure many of us here understand the consequences. Okay. So that is the morality we talk about, morality that we spoke about. And again, morality here, the ethical living. The Buddha, like I've said, the Buddha focuses a lot on ethical living because the Buddha's teaching is threefold. We say, remember, you refer to the eightfold path. You notice that it is actually threefold living concept presented by the Buddha. Okay, number one, we say we live in the present. Live for life that is in the present to be conducive. For us to live conducively in this present life, to be successful in this present life, to be respected in this present life. The Buddha says you maintain your right speech, you maintain your right action. Samma vaca, samma kammanto, samma ajivo. So the Buddha says you maintain right speech, right action, right livelihood. And this will ensure that this present life is very conducive and very smooth. Correct? Now, and what about the future life? The future life, you refer to this right mindfulness and right concentration, right mindfulness, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. This will lead you to what? Lead you to a more conducive life in the future. Put effort to do more good, put effort to be mindful with what we do every day, and our mind to be concentrated. When the mind is concentrated, we always say that no unwholesome thoughts come to your mind. When your mind has no unwholesome activities, it is in a very pure state. And that state we should cultivate. This is good for a future life. Is it? So now, remember, Samma Vayamo, all right effort. Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and Samma Samadhi. Okay, so we put in this kind of effort that makes, I've said again, I will repeat, right effort to make sure that our mind remains mindful. We have to be very mindful in our present, in our past, and in our future. We have to be very mindful of what we do, particularly living in the present. We focus a lot of living in the present. So that is called mindfulness, right effort to put in the right mindfulness. And then right concentration again. How does it help you in the future life? Your mind is pure. When your mind remains that state of samadhi, no unwholesome thoughts come to your mind, no greed, hatred, delusion comes to your mind. And that is the time when your mind is pure. There are a lot of merits you get. And these are all helpful for your future life, right? And also in the ultimate life, the Buddha says you must cultivate that. You must have right understanding and right intention. Samma ditti, samma sankappo. Remember? So we must make sure that we have the right understanding of life. Knowing well that nothing is permanent in this life, then we will act more conducively. So that is the meaning of this right samadhi, right understanding, right view, and right intention. Samma sankappo. That we must always have right intention. And cultivation of these brings you the right knowledge, right wisdom. And the right wisdom is you to Nibbana. Okay? So samanyana, correct? And these are the ones that lead you to Nibbana. So the Buddha has taught us these three ways also, this threefold living. So now we focus on this present first. We focus on living in the present. So we emulate the Buddha. You can emulate all the eight slowly. So okay. Then when you emulate this, okay, what happened after that? Now we have done this. Okay. We have focused on what we say is just now, and then we have done our we have spoken on charity, on morality. And what is the result of this charity and morality is altruism, mudita, this kind of sympathetic joy that we will experience, you know. This sympathetic joy or this mudita, how do we achieve them? If we can do the 1 and 2, we emulate dana, emulate morality, we see good results, we become very happy. That is the altruism that we talk about. And we define altruism that every man has the potential of this indestructible potential of goodness and enlightenment. So that is the benefit of knowing that the Buddha was a human. His birth is very important for us. His birth we are celebrating because it reminds us that every man has the potential of this indestructible potential, goodness and enlightenment. If not, then individualism, if we have no potential for this kind of goodness and enlightenment, this kind of things, this individualism, is very dangerous, you know. It will give you the strength, or it leads you to narcissism, they call it, you know, because you see, you're so proud of what you can do, really. So proud of seeing what you can do, seeing what you can achieve. Wow, I'm big, wow, I achieve. Many people are doing well, they do good, but with ulterior motives. Sometimes people do it because of this kind of achievement, this kind of ambition. People do with this ambition. People do with all kinds of things. If you're not careful, this is a strength and virtue, and you see this also in people who are suffering from narcissism. People who look at themselves first. That is the danger. So when you do charity, the Buddha says you must not think of the reward. That's what the Buddha says. When you do charity, don't think of the reward. If you think of the reward, if you think that you want to be big, you think you want to be popular, you think you want to establish a certain thing, you think you want this, you think you do this. Yes, it is still good you're helping people. We are not saying it's not good, but it may not be good for you. Because you do things with ulterior motive, you miss that altruism or that mudita, the sympathetic joy that we should cultivate, that we will enjoy. We will miss that. So that is the danger. And when missing this altruistic joy, what will happen? If you're not careful, it will lead you to narcissism, lead you to big ego, leads you to many other downfall qualities. So we have to be very careful that we have to learn to live to be useful to others. In short, correct? Learn to live to be useful to others. So we must learn to value people as a human in their own position, their own capacity. So this kind of altruism that we will get, valuing the other and being concerned about his position. Be concerned of him and concerned of his position. These are the two essential components of altruism. So again, like I've said, just now we say that people do with intention. So this is the thing. The essence of altruism does not reside in the motivation, correct? That animates one's behavior. Altruism can be considered as authentic as long as the desire for other values is our ultimate goal, even if our motivation has not been transformed into action. Okay, many of us have that kind of ideas now. We want to do is very good already, but if we can transform it into action, it's better lah. Okay, by contrast to this altruistic people who enjoys altruism, enjoys mudita. By contrast, a selfish person considers others. You see, a selfish person will use you as an instrument in the service of their own interests. That's the difference. People help you or people use you as the instrument in the service of their own interest. He does not hesitate to neglect or even sacrifice the good of others when that turns out to be more useful to reach his goal. So that is altruism. I think I have covered 3 today. It's enough of food for thought. I will continue on this in the next talk, which may be on the 19th. I'm not sure whether we want to have the talk on the 19th or not, but if we have, then I shall continue this topic of trying to emulate the qualities of the Buddha. Vesak reminds me of all this. So I chose to speak on it. Of course, there are many more that I want to cover, but we will stop at this first, digest on these 3 things first. Okay? And with that, I say thank you very much again for your time. And I hand you back over to Brother Terence.
Thank you very much, Bro Leng Huat, for today's sharing. Now let's dedicate some merits to all beings, whether they are seen or unseen. Akasatha ca Bhummatha Devanaga Mahitika Punyang Tamanamoditva Chiram Rakkantu Loka Sasanang Ettavata ca Amhehi Sampadang Punya Sampadang Sabbe Deva Sabbe Bhuta Sabbe Satta Anumodantu Sabba Sampatti Siddhya Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. And aspirations. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo tu yavanippana pattiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you everyone for watching. For other videos, please visit the links below. Bye bye for now. See you again next week.